So first I had to go buy white onion, then I had to buy a few sticks of celery, then I bought 80/20 ground beef, some diced tomatoes, Italian seasoning, and some rigatoni noodles. So all the ingredients I'm going to be using is the rigatoni noodles, 1 stick of celery, 1 carrot, olive oil, some beef stock, diced tomatoes, ground beef, a white onion, tomato sauce or tomato paste, salt and pepper, garlic powder, and Italian seasoning. So before I started actually cooking, I had to dice up the celery into fine little pieces. Then I also had to dice up the carrot into fine pieces. Then after that, I had to dice up half the white onion. And I had to make sure you get this really small so it mixes in well. Then next I decided to add all my seasonings onto one plate. So first off, I added a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder. Then I added 2 teaspoons of Italian seasoning. Then I didn't put it in the video, but I just added in a few turns of salt and pepper for taste. Next, I measured out a 1/4 cup of tomato paste, then 3 cups of beef stock. Then in a hot pan, I added 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Then when the olive oil got up to temp, I added in the pound of ground beef. And you just kind of want to stir this in there and just chop it all up. The goal is to try to get this to brown, so I just sort of mix this for a while until all the beef is brown. After a few minutes, you can see the beef is starting to get brown. There's still some red, so I just continue to mix this until all of it was brown. So once all my beef was brown, I added in the chopped up celery, carrot, and onions. And the recipe just said to stir this in and keep it cooking for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's all softened. After about 3 minutes, once everything had softened, I added in all my spices along with my 1/4 cup of tomato paste. Then I just mixed this all together for about a minute until it was all thoroughly mixed in. Once I had everything mixed together well, I poured in my 3 cups of beef broth, and you just sort of want to scrape the bottom of the pan to make sure anything that's burned on gets picked up. Next, I poured in my rigatoni noodles along with the diced tomatoes. After I added everything, I actually have to dump all my ingredients into a bigger pot because the one I was using was too small. But then you just want to sort of stir everything together and get it all mixed well. Then after that, you want to turn up your heat and get everything to a boil. And once it starts boiling, you want to turn down the heat and just leave it at a simmer for about 15 minutes to let the noodles cook. After about 15 minutes, all the noodles are fully cooked and it's almost done to pour onto a plate. So this is the final result. It ended up turning out really good. I put some Parmesan cheese on top to top it off. And overall, I thought this was really easy to make, and my whole family ended up loving the dish. So this is definitely something I would try again.